Hey everyone, it's Sam Mackay from Enterprise DNA here. Today I want to show you how you can create compelling dashboard insights, right? So I showcase a lot of individual techniques, but today I want to show you just an overall technique, how you can combine lots of different things to create something that's just truly insightful, that actually showcases really good stuff, that is going to create good actions, quality actions within an organization, within a business, that is going to create good quality decisions, quality actions, etc., etc. So what I wanted to go through to I guess showcase this is a reporting dashboard that I'll be going through during the Enterprise DNA Learning Summit. So this is the May 2018 Learning Summit. It's going to be incredibly detailed around lots of Power BI tips and techniques that I personally utilize in all of the development that I do. But this one in particular is going to be about this insight thing. So how can you create just really quality insights that a consumer is going to look at and be able to go and do and go and action something on the back of it. Now, customers is a good one to do this with, right? Because obviously customers are very key to business. You've got to have lots of customers. You've got to be selling to them. You've got to stay on top of what's going on with your customers, right? And so the core of what I wanted to do here was I wanted to, over any time frame, I wanted to be able to select different time frames and be able to drill into specific customer groups based on, say, their ranking, their performance ranking, and then really dive in and identify, what are these customers purchasing, where are they purchasing it, what time frames are they purchasing, when are they purchasing, and some other things, okay? And all of these things combined, I feel, make up really good dashboards. Now, the first thing about creating quality dashboards is something you can't even see just by looking at this, right? The key thing about creating high quality dashboards, which enable you to drill in and dive into data, is creating a good model, okay? There is absolutely no way around this, okay? Now, I have showcased some best practice tips around modeling and setting up your model, so I don't want to go over them again in this particular tutorial, but basically this is what it looks like. This is what the model of this particular report that will be used in the Enterprise DNA Learning Summit event. This is what the model looks like. Now, there's actually a lot going on here, but this is how simple the model needs to be, or how intuitive the model needs to be. Now, if I sort of drill out, you'll see, well, there's actually a lot more going on, but at its core, this is what the model is. And what you'll find is that your model will be somewhat similar, okay? And that's what I want you to aim for. It doesn't need to have things all over the place, relationships all over the place. You want to keep it as simple as possible. And then when you do, this becomes far more easier, and that's the key. Is the absolute key to good dashboarding. Now, one of the other things that I've implemented here is I've implemented this rank here, and this is again where the model is so crucial, because how do I dynamically select, say, a different grouping of customers, which filters everything else, but then it enables me to filter everything else, right? Well, ranking is not actually in my existing data, so I actually had to create it. But if you create a good model, what you can do is you can build out your model. Using calculated columns, and this is another key thing to creating good dashboards, because it's not always enough just to showcase what your actual raw data is. You need to look further in, or dive further into the data and create different looks and feels that just didn't exist before. Okay, and that's exactly what I've done here. Is I've gone and created I guess you could call it an algorithm, but it's a pretty simple one, where I've gone and looked at the customer rank and then separated or segmented those particular customers based on the rank, right? And then that's given me a dimension inside of my customer table, which sits in my model up here. This gives me a dimension now, which I can then filter any calculation that gets done in my fact tables in my model down here. Okay, and that's why when I select, say, rank 11 to 40, everything actually changes, right? And the filters that I just mentioned are the key there, because what these filters in the model enable us to do is really drill down into things, right? So say, for instance, we want to look at our top customers ranked 1 to 10. So you'll see here that actually filters on my customers here. Everything else is filtered. And then I can then just go and select each of these particular customers and really understand, okay, well, what are these customers doing? What are they purchasing? And then what I've also done here is I'll just unselect those, and I'll just go into a better example here where I'm going to jump into my my lower ranked customers. I'm going to select a few customers, and then what I've done here is I have gone through and created a visualization which enables me to see the changes over time for these particular customers. So if I select a different time frame, what I can look at here is I can look at, well, how are my customers changing through time? And so I've got quarter and year here, and I'm evaluating, okay, then by total sales and total profits. So how are these particular customers changing through time? And so there's combining a few things there, but all of it is possible because of the model, right? The model is allowing me to place filters in, say, my filtering tables or my lookup tables. These ones are on the one side, and they're flowing down the relationships, and then they allow me to filter inside the visualizations here. And I can quickly change to any of these filters and identify key customers or key customer sets that are having some sort of purchasing behavior, which is what I want to particularly look at in this particular example. And what you'll find is that by doing all these things well, all of this just flows nicely. So say, for instance, I'm looking at my top ranked customers here. So I've got you'll see here, I've got some highlights up here where I've got my top 10, I've got 10 customers selected, and then I can actually jump through and have a look at different regions. Well, we can see that only one customer bought in this region in the top 10, so on and so forth, and you see they only bought actually during one sort of time frame as well. But we can actually drill into the customer here and see how they have changed from quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4, how they have purchased through time, etc., etc. Okay, so I went through a bit there. I wanted to just showcase or talk through just a couple of the key examples of key things that are important in creating good dashboards. And it's also, this is just a bit of a promotion around the Enterprise DNA Learning Summit. So, I'm obviously going to spend a lot more time going through how each individual part of this particular report is made up. It's going to be a deep dive into customer insights, and if you want to come to that, download the resource, then certainly register for the Enterprise DNA Learning Summit. There's going to be plenty to learn, not only around this one, but also on, say, performance insights. This one is where we're going to go through a few more introductory things, like some of the additional modeling things you need to set up. We've got some financials, so for accountants and finance professionals who need to analyze, say, your revenues and your profits, etc. We've got some prediction insights. This is going to be a great event, a great session on scenario analysis and what are parameters. Really looking forward to this one. We've got some budgeting insights. So I know a lot of you have to work with budgets and forecasts, etc. But in this particular session is going to be all about that, how you can create dynamic budgets that are segmented as well, so you can dive into the best performers, the okay performers, etc. Then we've obviously got our customer insights, and then finally we've got some attrition insights. So here we're going to dive into our new customers and our lost customers. So as you can see, there's a lot of different dashboards you can make. There's a lot of great insights that you can discover, and this one in particular, this customer one, where we're going to really drill into our key customers, is going to be a great one, which certainly looks into that much further. And interesting to note though, and just to round off, is that you'll see all of those reports and dashboards were created basically with this simple model, and that's that's the key thing. Getting the model right certainly makes a lot of this stuff a lot easier. Okay, all the best. Certainly, I'll leave a link below to register for the event. So I really want you to come along if you're interested in Power BI and developing really high quality reports. Certainly come along. It's going to be a great event with well over 1,000 people attending. So it'll be well worth your time. Okay, all the very best. Look forward to speaking to you soon.